He has worked to undermine the divided government that we have. He's worked to undermine democracy ultimately. And whether you're a gun owner or not, that should concern you.
How all you have to do is log on to President Obama's website, change.gov, and his attack on the Second Amendment and your firearm freedoms is spelled out in black and white.
American gun owners are engaged in a culture war. We're engaged in a culture war against a very well-funded and very coordinated opposition, not just from President Obama, but the Michael Bloombergs of the world and the news media that support this gun control narrative. And what they're really trying to do is change America as we know it. They're trying to convince the American people that it's socially unacceptable to own firearms.
They really want to shame gun owners into basically giving up their guns and just saying, you know, there's too much red tape, it's too much of a hassle. We're not going to teach our kids about firearms, including safe and responsible gun ownership, because it's just too much. There's too many bureaucratic hurdles, and so we're just going to give up our rights. That's really what they want us to do.
They want to teach families that if your friends play at someone else's house and the parents own guns, don't let your children play over there. Don't have a firearm in your house for self-defense. They're literally trying to change the culture in this country. And one of the ways they've done that is to try to intimidate gun owners. Over the years, there's been a movement away from using the phrase gun control and more into common sense gun safety, sensible restrictions. It's all the same agenda. Their agenda, their talking points have changed and their poll-tested sound bites have changed. But Hillary Clinton and the rest of them, their agenda has not changed, and it's a very radical and very extreme agenda. They know that they can't take on the members of the National Rifle Association, so they try to confuse the American people. They try to suggest that all we want to do is keep guns out of the hands of gang members and murderers and those who are violently and criminally mentally ill. And our message to them is, welcome to the party. The National Rifle Association has been engaged in this fight for decades. The American people are sick and tired of that. Gun owners are sick and tired of it. The National Rifle Association is sick and tired of it, which is why we're doing everything we can to make sure that we turn our country around by electing the right people who will be honest with the American people about what's wrong and honest about what role government can play, and oftentimes it's a very limited role. There are things that can be done. We can address a broken criminal justice system. We can address school security issues. We can certainly address a broken mental health system in this country. Unfortunately, what we've seen with these horrific, high-profile shootings is that there are politicians that, in a very disgraceful way, that will work to exploit those tragedies. Unfortunately, President Obama has been the #1 cheerleader of that strategy. And instead of joining the rest of the country in prayer, joining the rest of the country in trying to comfort and try to ease tension, this president has taken advantage of every opportunity to try to push his legislative agenda, which sadly would not have prevented the very horrific event that he's trying and supposedly working to address.